Okay, the beep's gone. Now, the first thing is lookups.
Yeah, let's do a lookup.
Okay. So what we might want to do is do a lookup. The best way to do it, in my opinion, is to right mouse click. So let's go for a type of business. So we'll look up the type of business, and rather than do the starts with, we'll use the function of contains, and then we will put in pre and go OK. Now that's given us 248 of these pre-kindergarten preschools that you've got set up. Now if we go back to the detail view, and there's two ways to do that. One is to click up here on detail view. The other way, and much easier, is to just double click. And now we want to find all the preschools in Victoria. So not a very good example here, but we'll look up state and go for Victoria, and we will narrow the lookup. So there's the 78, and we got that before. There's the 78 preschools in our database that we have in Victoria. The whole key to ACT is lookup, so that we could then sort it in list view, and we could sort it by right mouse clicking, go to customize columns, and do we have no, and put in, it's got to be in there somewhere, and we could then sort it by postcode, and we'll move that up again up to the top of the screen just for ease of viewing, and we can then sort it on the postcode. Now we notice here that there are missing postcodes in the database, so ACT will always sort on the blanks first.
This also, Gordon, it sorts by the fields in the order that the columns are, doesn't it? So if you want to sort first on phone and then on state and then on alphabetical,
it doesn't work that way. Excel does, but yes, yeah. No, unfortunately that's...
Let's do a mail merge, come in.
Okay, so having got these 78, and the key to ACT is lookups, and to do a mail merge, and what we'll do is we'll do a mail merge to a predefined template. So over here we will go to write a mail merge. We'll go next. We'll go to the word processor. We in this case, although we've got the choice here, I don't think anyone would ever go would be brave enough to go directly to a printer, but unless they wanted to waste paper. But so we'll go to the word processor. We will find the template that we need, and in this case it's the thank you letter, and so there it is there. We go next. Now notice here that we can select who we want to mail merge to. Now in this case, of course, we want to mail merge to the current lookup, but in the future, particularly when we get these territories sorted out, we could have it to a selected group, and that could be Eastern Metropolitan Melbourne, or Country Victoria, or whatever you wish as far as the setup is concerned. But we're going to go to the current lookup, and it's just a matter of finishing. What you'll find here is we're now going to create 78 customized letters to the to that. Now, whilst that's happening, even we can come across here to no, it's not going to let us. We'll just let it. No, it won't take too long. But it really does highlight when you're mail merging, and particularly postal, is these missing data. Now, we know, just while this is happening, we know that the post office really want us to put cities in uppercase.
Yeah.
And there's a way in ACT to change that field in defined fields to uppercase. And what they want is city, 2 spaces, state, 2 spaces, postcode. And we can set up our template to do that. And if you, particularly when you're doing bulk emails, they'll give you a discount if you set them up there. They do not want any punctuation marks in the, because drives their spackers, you know. Yeah, that's a technical term, spackers. Now the beauty of this, I'm just keeping talking, but the beauty of this is that it's going into Word, and you've got all the features of Word available to you. All the tabs, all the ability to put in letterheads, headers, footers, is all there. I should note that you can't merge from ACT into a header or a footer, and there it is there in Word. And there's our customised letters. So if we say now that if we go to here to File, and I'm not going to do this, and go to Print, soon as we've printed that, we get the choice of whether we want to record it to history, either as a letter, or we can get the choice of whether you want to attach the letter as well. Now, my advice there is, don't attach it. It just builds the size of the database, and it's just repetitive data. You know that if you've done a promotion letter, then you just save one copy of it. Yeah, but it would attach it to the contact. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Does it show the content of the letter, or you're saying?
No, it would just find the subject line of the letter. You would put the subject in.
Yeah, okay.
It might have been 2012 catalogue mail out. Now you don't want to put down all the verbiage, because that's going to it's actually going to build to the size of your email. Not necessarily a big deal, but it's just it's just waste.
To save these letters to a common repository on the server that they can refer back to.
Save one copy back, but what you've got already know it. Because if you've named your template the right way, you just go into templates. Now, what I'll do is I'll give you an example of it, and the answer here is no. So, and then what we'll come over here to do is go to File, Print, and then when we go to Labels, and we choose the label. Now, the other thing about labels is it's very important in ACT not to redesign the size of the labels. Always use Avery's. When you go to your stationer, choose Avery equivalents. Most of the companies, certainly Officeworks and those people, do have an Avery equivalent, but choose that. You will always go to a preview anyway, and there it is there. Now, of course, what it does show, and it's quite useful, it shows it highlights your data. Yeah. So, having done that, just to give you an example, and particularly from Robin's question, if I did a lookup on surname Hasty, there's only one in the database, and let me just at least I'm in there. So there's Broadford, Victoria, Australia. Gordon Hasty. My title is ACC. BS artist. No, we didn't say it. 04. I said that, not you. Now 0438 588230. I just want to make sure that I'm in the database, because you can always then call me. Now,
I
you've...
just want to go through this because I think if we go standard phone and mobile formats, don't change the mobile format because a lot of
You're a brave woman, Evelyn. No,
That's the way
because you haven't got one there.
Hey?
You haven't got a mobile format
No,
there.
I know, I took it out because I didn't want.
You've got too many formats there.
I know, I'm going to delete them, but I want to
Okay.
make sure there's none on that format before I delete them.
Do you know that? Do you know that I tried this? You can edit this out of the recording. I tried this personally because I have a personal thing about it. A mobile phone is area code 04.
Yes, that's right.
That-
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And I put it on I went to the trouble of printing my business card. You wouldn't believe the number of complaints I had.
Oh, really?
Who said, that's not a... we rang that number, we didn't realise it was a mobile or what have you. So anyway, okay, so... but just cut it back to 2.
Yeah, right.
244 433. It's, because how are you going to handle 1300 numbers and 1800 numbers? That's just... Okay, and I'm certainly not a prospect. I'm a supplier. Okay, so I'm a supplier. So there we go. So you must have turned that onto capitals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got that in lowercase.
No, it is now uppercase, but
Because I printed it in. Yeah.
yeah, no, it is supposed to be on uppercase. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, when we finish recording, I'll just have one quick look at it on my way out, but it doesn't look like it is. Okay, now, so what we've done here is we've got a lookup of 1 rather than 78. So now if I go write a other document from template, and I come down here to thank you letter, and there it is there as a valued, and notice that doesn't matter. If I go to file, print, and we'll go to the brother, I'll waste one piece of paper on you. There is the regarding, and it was a test letter, and I can attach a copy of it to my contact if I wanted to, right? And I don't want to do any of that.
Oh, you have done that, haven't you?
Yes, I have. And go okay. Now that's gone to the printer. Now if you look in my history, there's the test letter. You follow? Yeah. Okay. So there it is there. There's your attachment, which is the letter.
Like I said, probably wouldn't do this much data.
No, you wouldn't do it with a big mail merge, Andy.
Can you send an email?
Subject come up instead.
Beg your pardon?
Could you send an email?
Can you also do the same thing again and not attach it and see what happens in history?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it still come up as test?
Change the name to the global. Do you want to save these changes? No. Cancel. I don't know why we got. That's a word message. Yeah. So now I will go do exactly the same thing, and go write a other document. I can either write that there, or I can go mail merge next to the word processor, and thank you letter next, current lookup, which is of 1, the key is lookup, and then finish. And there it is there. And then if I print that to the brother and don't attach it, because it's Word, you have to put something in there. So SECOND. Whereas an Outlook has the intelligence to be able to put the subject in. if you've got a subject, and then go OK. And I don't want to save a change to it. And there's my second test letter. So it's
So
put...
is that also attached? You did that as an attachment as well?
No, I didn't. I just recorded it.
So this
That's an attachment.
So this one here, is there any way of knowing what's got an attachment or not?
No, there we
You
are.
have to actually double click
Yeah.
to see whether there's an
Yeah,
attachment.
yeah.
There's no field that you can add along here. No.
There should be.
Really?
Okay.
There should be, and
To send an email, do I go into Outlook?
No, you go into Outlook
Email.
through your remote connect. No, through your remote connect top.
I don't know why it's not doing it.
Yeah.
Everyone, just
Not important.
just let me just try this to go
So I want
to.
this pretty little email to go out.
Where are we?
I want that one to go out for Queensland.
We should be doing it through this, I think.
Oh no.
Yeah. So if I can get that to come to go through.
Yeah, no. It's. I think you've got the wrong version of Office.
I just don't like
Okay. So there we've done our mail notes. What? Which colour?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Whoop. Woo. So next,
Groups.
groups. Okay. ACT has the ability to be able to group contacts. Now, groups have absolutely nothing to do with contacts. So you can have as many groups as you like, and you can have as many contacts in as many groups as you like. It's one to many. So you could, I could be a member of the Melbourne Club, I wish, the Royal Melbourne Golf Club, and the Celtic Club. I'm still Gordon Hasty, but I'm in all those three groups.
Yeah.
I act differently at the Celtic Club than I do at the Melbourne Club. I don't don't swear as much, put it that way. That type of thing. So the same with groups, so that you could have them in a preschool group, and you could have them in a group that's in the west of the Melbourne metropolitan area. Okay? Now, in doing that, the way to do it, and the best way beyond a shadow of a doubt, is to go into groups, create a new group, and in this case we'll create a group called Test, and is to use this add and remove contacts and come down here to this dynamic membership and edit the criteria, and here you've got every field. Now you've got the ability to have postcode, unfortunately it doesn't work in this. They fixed this on the postcode, and the operator is, in this case, equals to 3000. Add it to the list, and over here we'll go and postcode postcode equals to 3004, which we know is St Kilda Road. Now we add that to the list. Now, if we were to preview that, that's a nonsense, because if we go preview, you don't get anything, because you don't have two postcodes. But if I change this to an OR, now it's because it's straight out Boolean operators and or. So we can get anything we want out of the database based on this, and if we preview that, we've got 28. Now, the other thing is, I don't know whether it says this in the book, but it's a very good idea that if you're pulling data out of the one field, to put that in brackets around that field. Remember when you went to school, you learnt BODMAS in Victoria. I went to school in Queensland. We learned BOMDAS, brackets of multiply, divide, add and subtract. So what it'll do is it'll do that function first before it does the other functions. So we could say here we've got postcode 3004, and then over here we could say type of business. What does the territory field do, Evelyn?
I was going to use that for queries on territories for the consultants based on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what? And then put their name. Yeah, no, you're better off using a group name. But anyway, that's yeah, I understand. And starts with pre. So we can have that. We add that to the list. See how it's put an and back there. So we've got that or that and if we preview it, we still haven't got any, but I'm not surprised.
Put school in, it'll probably come up rather than kindergarten. Just show them anyway how to edit that.
So we can edit that. And the type of business starts with, and we want to change, yeah, contains will do. School. Just for the sake of this. Okay. School and preview. Okay, we haven't got any schools in. Right, so we've got those and those. It's done those first. So, but anyway, you're understanding. Yeah. And that can go on for line after line, and it will have to, with postcode. This or this or this. But the good point about it is you only have to do it once. And you only have to do it once for the company, not because you can share groups.
Is there any way to cut and paste the whole, sort of to do it outside of ACT and cut and paste that into your query?
No. I was just thinking. No, I haven't been asked before, and so. No, there's no easy way. But what I'd strongly recommend is that you don't do it as a knee jerk, and you start off and it becomes logical. You define the areas. The best thing you can do is go to the post office and buy a postcode map first. Oh, you've already got one. Draw your lines around it, and draw your lines on your postcode map. And say this is Bob's territory, or this is the territory that we want. And then find and put those postcodes in. But don't actually, that raised a good point. Don't put a person's name in the group. Call it Western Metropolitan Area or something, because if Bob leaves, yeah, and somebody's got to remember, that used to be Bob, Okay.
You could do it up here, couldn't you? You could put Western, Eastern, and then dash whoever they are and change the name later.
You could put in the description, you could put Bob. Yeah. Same here with Dwayne's and Robbins. Okay, next.
I think that's pretty much it, mate.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe attaching emails that haven't attached. I have a lot of trouble with emails not attaching.
How do you send an email from Mac, for
Or
instance?
is that a limitation of the versions that it's not matching up to?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It's a limitation.
So are there any other reasons why we need to upgrade to 2001?
Oh, better lookups. It's more stable. I'll send you a list. I've got a list of them. Yeah, but it's the best thing I can recommend. It sounds like I'm selling, but is to get to the latest version and buy software assurance. It's about $90 a year per user, but you don't have to do the upgrade. You don't have to spend the money on it, but you just keep it going until you get to the next version. In version 12, we've got things like smart tasks. So if a field changes, send an email. So which is a rather good thing. Or if something happens in history, or if it's their birthday, send an email one day before. So, yeah, and I use birthday, but it could be if it's a contract expiry. Do you have maintenance contracts? Do you sell maintenance? No.
Could do it on
Yeah. So, for example, there's a date. You know. So again, Robin, sorry for my back here.
meetings that you know
But-
about or decision making times or
Yeah.
definitely look into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I just
Not a big thing for us.
Can I just finish by just showing you something just occurred to me here, and that is this. In lookups, there's this field called contact activity. This function called contact activity. Now, what we want to do is find all the contacts that we have not touched. This used to be called touched and untouched since the 1st of January this year. Oh, I don't want last year. Come on.
Can you put in WA?
No, you can filter it afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So, and to help it, you can filter it using those buttons, but there's no record. So you've done something to everyone here. But let's see just on contact records. I do too. I find that very hard to believe, but no, it's working. So they're all the records, almost all of them, that where you haven't used notes. I'm very proud of you. I hate notes.
No, it is.
That's good on you. So, but that's another way of looking at the database. And it's another way to get yourself started, particularly if you're going to do Swift page campaigns and what have you. Goodness, who haven't we touched for such a, a month or
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
great for sales reps.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So how do I stop? Do I just press that?